Hello. Morning, guys. Fix this mic. Alright. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Like I said last week, we're doing reverse the riva today, so it's gonna be a new lesson. It's gonna be probably maybe a 2-week part lesson. So we're gonna look at it in quite detail. Morning, Steve. How are you, dude? So today we're just gonna look at kind of the beginner's guide to reverse the riva. We're gonna look at the few things that make it strong and weak, and then we'll get into the more advanced kind of situations afterwards. But by the end of the 2 weeks, we should have quite a big insight on reverse the riva. Starting off, so if you guys don't know, this reverse the riva, this photo. If you're not aware of it, it's just kind of a hook on the inside of the leg over here that you can't see. That's what kind of makes it reverse the riva. But there are several ways of playing the riva. I'm gonna go over kind of the most common kind of situations. The first thing that a lot of people get kind of mixed up is we can play reverse the riva with an ankle grip, or we can play it with frames. Now, unless you're very good at reverse the riva, you can ignore these kind of positions. But if you're a fairly new beginner, I would highly suggest you knowing when to use the ankle grip versus the frames. And it's quite simple. You're using the frames, which is my hand over here and my other hand also framing, when people are driving pressure towards you, like they're going for a knee slice of some sort. Now, if you're playing against a more passive opponent where he's kind of sitting back, that's when you kind of hold on to the ankle instead. Okay? Again, if they're pressuring you, you're kind of a little bit too scared about them blasting through with the knee slice. So we kind of keep that frame in place until the person settles or we can attack. And if you're playing against a passive opponent, you can grab the ankle for better control. Because the thing about the reverse the riva hook is the more they pressure you, the tighter the hook becomes. The more they kind of back away, the kind of looser the hook becomes. So you probably feel it when you're actually playing the reverse the riva. If someone just stands on you, the hook becomes really weak and it feels really hard to keep the hook in. But when someone's driving a knee slice, you kind of can stay there in the reverse the riva for quite a long time. You're kind of like a sponge just sucking in the pressure. First of all, we're just gonna talk through the legs and the arm position here. So in this clip, this is against kind of a pressure scenario, okay? Most commonly, you're gonna kind of set up your reverse the riva when someone's trying to knee slice you. That's probably the most common time. So here it is. On top, Kiwi over here is gonna start a knee slice. You can see my hook comes in quite quickly. That little foot there, you're just gonna see it kind of twirling around there. That's my hook in place. You're constantly arching your foot here to make a little nice tight grip. And my arms are gonna come in now. Okay, I know she's knee slicing. I can kind of feel on her grips. So right now, I'm gonna put my frames in. That's my first frame on the shoulder. My second frame is gonna go to the arms, or sometimes it can go to my own knee as well. Now, this is the important part. There's a little fight here of who kind of stays on the inside position. So I'm weaving my foot in to her shoulder so I can get the inside position. So now I'm in a much safer scenario than if my foot was on the other side. So this setup is very important. As soon as you get your reverse de la riva, get your frames in place and weave that foot on the inside of the shoulder, and you're all good. Okay, again, that depends on flexibility a bit. If you're not quite flexible, you'll have a hard time putting a foot in the shoulder, but you can also put your shin across most of the time. Hello, Lisa, you good? Some reverse de la riva for you. Now, one more thing is, if the person is way heavier than you, it's far better off to kind of hug your own knee to kind of protect it. But that's how we set up our legs and arms from a pressure scenario. One more time. And that has to be a little bit of muscle memory to be able to remember all of that. So that's our knee slice prevention. This works as a kind of defensive kind of knee slice prevention, and then you can start attacking. But here's how it goes. She tries the knee slice, I get my reverse de la riva, and then from here you need a plan, and that's kind of what we're gonna look at. Now, for all of these next moves, they're only from pressure scenarios, okay? So they're very different from someone who is not pressuring us. So keep that in mind. All the moves I'm going to show for now, it's all when someone's trying to knee slice you, even though you're defending it really well. And the first move I'm going to suggest is this over the shoulder roll. So again, she's knee slicing me. I set up my reverse de la riva the correct way. I have that foot on the shoulder. I have a frame or a collar grip, both are good. And my other arm is controlling her wrist. Could be just controlling my own knee, but basically I'm not gonna be knee sliced there. Now you get two types of people: the people who back away because they know they can't slice through, or the people who are still trying to pressure you to try to get their knee to the mat. Okay, this is the time where we're gonna use this move. I'm gonna switch from the collar or the frame to an underhook over here, just behind her shoulder blades, like this. And you can see it's kind of like an arm drag grip. The whole goal here is to off balance the person towards the side where she can't base. And biggest tip I can give you here is just try to get shoulder to shoulder. So I'm pulling her shoulder to mine, and now we're just gonna do a backward roll. It's a fairly easy sweep to do if the person's pressuring you. If they're not pressuring you, you're probably not gonna sweep the person, but it's a great sweep as a starting reverse de la riva player. Very easy to do as well. There, hold the triceps, pull, and do a backward roll. Now, the sweep can't really go bad for you unless the person does a really fast, unless you don't have the sleeve control, okay? So make sure you have a sleeve or hand control, because what happens is if you just drag and they hug your head, you're giving them quite an easy long step, which is not very good. So make sure you have that 2-on-1 control. Now, what goes well with this is sometimes you're gonna attempt the sweep and the person has quite a good base, so you're left with a transition instead, and this one is to an X guard. So we're gonna start off with the same move there. I might not be able to sweep her in this case, but the drag, the pull, should make a leg step closer to me. And we can transition to a sweep instead from the X guard. So that's how I'd use both of those little combinations there. I'll try the over the shoulder sweep first, where I pull like this and sweep. And if I can't get that, I'll dive for the far leg and go to Y guard to a technical stand. So just off the bat, we have two little combinations there against someone who's pressuring us. But your other option is to, so in terms of reverse de la riva, you've got sweeps, which we looked at, just these first ones. But we also have kind of recoveries, which is going back to open guard scenarios. Now we can do this anytime you want, to be honest, but a very good time to go for it is when the person is still pressuring you, or maybe they're not even pressuring you, but you can't get your sweeps going on, so you might just want to go backwards instead. You could go to any guard you like, but this one is a fairly easy one as well. So again, I'm taking the same grips here, collar, sleeve, foot on the shoulder to keep the distance. And now I'm going to recover my open guard chain. So I'm going to kind of balance her to the side, kick her away, put my foot onto the biceps, and now we're playing open guard on the other side. So you can use your reverse de la riva as just a recovering position from a knee slice. So she knee slices, I recover. You, like I said, you don't have to do this, but this is a nice little way of kind of going into from a defensive position to a great attacking position, which is the collar and sleeve, where you can shoot for triangles on the platters now. So that's our recovering kind of the open guard scenario from a pressure standpoint. So far, we looked at the correct arm and leg position. This is probably the most important thing. As a beginner, you need to drill. Someone knee slices you, you activate everything, and you weave that foot on the inside. If you got this, that's happy days right there. Your knee slice prevention percentage should go a lot lower in terms of the person passing. Especially if you get knee sliced a lot, I think this is a great drill. If they keep pressuring you, we're going to go for the overhead sweep. Just the next one, sorry. This one. For whatever reason, the person has a good little base. Switch to the X instead. So pull. Oh, hold on. That's over shoulder. This one. Overhead, hooked leg, and technical stand. And last, we looked at how to recover the guard if you want to play collar and sleeve or connect to other chains. Okay, so far we have a good plan for when the person's pressuring us. As long as we have our frames in place, we should be good. And we have some sweeps from there. Now it's when the person is not pressuring you. This is where it gets a bit more complicated in terms of kind of sweeps and passes. Alright then, Pavel, you good? Playing some reverse de la riva. So in terms of the distance kind of reverse the lever, this is where you want to grab the ankle as soon as possible. I will record the counters afterwards so you can see why, But basically, our reverse de la riva becomes really weak when someone's standing. So we need some form of ankle control. There's me grabbing my ankle, the ankle. And you can kind of feel when it gets loose, so don't worry about it. It's not something crazy. So you see someone knee slicing you and they kind of just back away really easily like this. That's your time to grab the ankle. And then you can start setting up your chain. Everyone understand that bit? All good, but no BJ for you. I know everyone's struggling. Hopefully the vaccines can get set up quicker and quicker, and we can get back to training. Everyone here in the chat feels your pain. This is the only jiu-jitsu we've been getting for a while. Practicing on pillows and dummies. But anyway, so we've got our ankle grip here. Now, one of the easiest sweeps to do, very beginner friendly, is the tripod sweep. This is where we're going to grab the ankle while the person's standing. My reverse de la riva hook, which is here, is going to extend to the far side. Like this, off there. And now I'm just going to kick her with the foot you can't see onto her hip and pull. And you get a nice little tripod sweep there. If you've done the tripod sweep from the open guard, this is basically the opposite of it, the leg positioning. So far leg's gonna hook, near leg's gonna kick. And that's our tripod sweep. Looks like no BJ until the end of May. Ugh, I know. I was hoping March would be gyms open at least, but it doesn't look like it. Have to find my white belt. Even my pillow made me tap. Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the dummies at Gymbox is gonna give a hard time to everyone when we come back. So against a standing opponent, that's our tripod sweep there. Nothing can usually go bad here in terms of sweeps. The worst thing that will go is you won't be able to sweep them and you'll still be in reverse de la riva. Now we get to the fun stuff. Kiss of the Dragon, kind of the first move. People kind of teach you from reverse de la riva, which isn't, to be honest, at beginner level isn't the most effective move to teach, but it's very fancy, so everyone teaches it. The stuff that we talked about before is way more important than the Kiss of the Dragon. Only go for the Kiss of the Dragon if you got all of these right, because this is probably the move that you get punished the most if you do it wrong, because you're gonna get stacked really badly if someone counters you, or you get your back taken against someone who's better than you. But in this case, Chris here was knee slicing me. I get to my position and I know she's not pressuring me and she's standing, which is very kind of not very good in terms of her, because she's giving me too much space. This is the first kind of tip I can give you for a Kiss of the Dragon. We're gonna switch between the ankle grip to a weighted grip, which is like we hold the plate like this. So I'm twisting my wrist around. Kiss of the Dragon, Bruce Lee move, exactly. This is Bruce Lee made this move. So we're gonna switch from the ankle grip to the weighted grip. That's gonna help us do our little spin. Now the most important thing is to not swing your legs really wide to create momentum, because again you're gonna get your back taken or stacked really nastily. Keep your knees to your chest and spinning, getting your knee through as soon as possible. I use the back of my hamstrings there as a little guide to push her forward, and I still have my wader grip there. I haven't let go of anything. My first stage now, after I get underneath her, is to make her base that way. So I'm just going to kick my leg forwards and get into position. This is where it gets all complicated now, and it's quite difficult to understand. But your whole goal now, when you're behind a person, is to stop them from sitting onto their hips and facing you. Okay? Because if they sit onto their hips and face you, you're going to have to switch to something else. So I need to keep her looking in that direction. And I'm going to do that by not letting her sit to this hip. This is really important. And the way I do that is by pulling her weight to that side using both of my legs. So I'm pinching my legs now and I'm lifting her with this knee. Until I can get a butterfly hook in, which is the next stage here. You're going to see me weaving this leg on the inside. There. And now all I need to do is extend this side to get access to the back. And that's the kiss of the dragon. Again, there's so many details. You got to practice it loads of times to get used to it. But every single grip is vitally important in terms of getting the back. In terms of anything else, you could just get underneath them and come up really fast and get 2 points. But if you really got the back, you've got to practice this stage here where you're keeping them up, getting the butterfly hook, and then finishing it off. Sorry, I'll show you one more time without me doing it. There's no collar grip there. From the start, we just have our standard kind of grips. Then I'm going to switch to my wader grip. And now I'm just using my body to spin underneath the core. And my grips now, that same wader grip and trousers over here. Now it's mostly my legs doing the work. I'm lifting this to take my butterfly hook free. And now the wader hand is going to switch to the belt. Now I'm just pulling her towards me and extending the hooks. Okay, so that would be the kiss of the dragon. You can kind of do it anytime you get enough space to get underneath the person. When we do our advanced lessons, you will see how to set up so that you can always get underneath the person no matter what. If we get a very deep reverse de la riva hook, you should be able to get underneath them in most scenarios. But we're also going to see the danger of this position in the other lessons and how punishing it can be. If you do it wrong, you might get your back taken or get passed. So that's the kiss the dragon. Use it very carefully. If you are going to use it, practice it really well. Now, the other types of reverse de la riva that I haven't mentioned but very good in terms of beginners is lasso de la riva or spider de la riva. It's not used very much, but it's quite powerful. This scenario, you're just going to set up reverse de la riva like this. And if you can have access to the sleeve, and if your flexibility allows you, you can pommel inside. And now you have reverse de la riva with a lasso. Now the beauty about this, right, is that the most common issue you kind of have with reverse de la riva in terms of the no grips one, where, let's go back, right, where we have just arms and legs like this, where we're framing, right, like this. We're not really controlling the ankle, so the person can back away and kind of horse kick their leg back or windshield their legs, and you kind of get toreada quite easily. The beauty about the lasso one is once you set it up, the person's kind of stuck there for a while. The main reason is because you've got lasso on that side. If they back away, right, that keeps you really kind of arched onto the person. And even if they toreada or kick back or X-pass, you kind of got the lasso sweep to the side. And most of lasso counters, if we remember the lasso lessons, we talk about how to get to this side to try to pressure or just try to pass to this side most of the time. Now, if the person does this, we get this kind of nice sweep over here, which we call the knee twist lasso. And you can do this anytime, but basically is we set up our lasso and our reverse de la riva. We grab the ankle and we're just going to twist to this side over here, just like a regular lasso sweep, and we get a fairly easy sweep like that. Now, like I said, it makes it even easier if the person tries to pass to this side, because you can see they'll have to take a step to that side, but we're kind of glued onto the person and they get off balance really easily. Like I said, very underused, but I think people should use it a bit more often, and very beginner friendly. What partners well with this lasso sweep is the spin under, which is basically the kiss of the dragon. It works together with the knee twist in the sense that I try the knee twist, doesn't work, I can always just spin underneath, and this becomes a kind of shin sweep, just like we did in the lasso lesson where we sweep them like that. Or we can let go of the lasso when you get underneath. Here we can let go of the lasso, grab the leg, and that will become the normal kiss of the dragon. Or you can sweep the person like this. It's up to you which one you want to do that. The same exact moves can be done with a regular spider guard as well. So imagine instead of a lasso, I just have a spider guard on the biceps. You can still do the same knee twist move, but instead of flaring the spider guard, you're gonna stomp the spider guard down, if that makes sense. And the spin under is exactly the same as well. So if you like spider guard, if you like lassos, reverse de la riva with those are really good. If you like kind of half guard a bit more, then just stick to the regular kind of reverse de la riva scenario. So this should give you quite a simple little game plan in terms of reverse de la riva. The last move I add is, if you like de la riva guard, it's a de la riva recovery, which is kind of a sweep on itself, but I'm just putting it as a recovery for now. So here I'm in reverse de la riva. It works kind of similar to the tripod sweep, but instead of putting a hook behind a knee, I'm going to put it in front. You see my foot popping out there, and now I'm just going to kind of change direction from here to here just to set up a de la riva guard. There it is. And the beauty about this, you end up in a very nice reverse de la riva where you're really behind the person and you can start your berimbolo chains or any other reverse de la riva chain that you like. Sometimes you even be able to sweep the person if you do it quite fast. So that's a de la riva recovery. One more time. push, grab the ankle, foot goes to the hip, and go back to the riva. So in terms of recapping today's stuff, let's see if you guys remember. When do I use the ankle grip and when do I use my frames? So when should I grab the ankle here? And when should I frame instead? Let's see if you guys been paying attention. Nice one, Steve. Frames for pressure. Fantastic. So whenever someone's knee slicing you, driving that weight very hard on you, your frames are more important, especially if you're a smaller player like me. That's way more important than the ankle grip. Okay, the ankle grip won't save you from the knee slices. But the ankle grip's way better when someone is backing away or there's no pressure on you. So here's what I mean my frames. It's not just your arms, your legs as well. Okay, get that foot on the inside if you can. And I should have shown the two ways of getting your shins inside. This is kind of the more flexible way, right? But you can, how do I explain this? Instead of trying to go over, you can go underneath with your knee, if that makes sense. So for the non-flexible guys, if you got tight hips, you're probably going to try to get almost like a knee shield on that biceps to get on the inside position. So we already know that we can use our reverse riva for knee slice prevention. Here comes our first sweeps. Just to recap everything, we have over the shoulder. This is the first move I'd try. If they're persistent on the knee slice, drag, roll over the shoulder. Have a little backup plan for this move, which is the X guard sweep. This isn't actually X guard. I did put X guard, but we'll call this Y guard. I'm not taking the time to make the X, okay? So once you get this position, you make a Y of your legs and you literally just kick and get up. It's way quicker than trying to set up your X position and then going for the sweep. We have our guard recoveries here, which is 2. If we're open guard player, an aggressive kind of triangle, omoplata hunting, armbar hunting, we go for the recovery of the open guard, collar and sleeve, which is here. And then we could set up our triangles omoplata. If you're kind of more of a back taking or de la riva player, we recover to de la riva, which is here. So both of them are really good to have in your arsenal. And then we go into our distance kind of control sweeps. We have the ankle grip tripod sweep. Person backs away, grab the ankle, extend your reverse de la riva leg to hook behind, and kick and pull. We have our kiss of the dragon. Again, learn how to spin here correctly, knees close to your chest. Set up your wader grip. Make sure the person doesn't sit back, otherwise you're gonna have to transition to something else. And practice your weaving. Moving on from the kiss of dragon, we have our knee twists from lasso or spider, so remember both of them works. Exactly the same sweep for each one. Grab the ankle, twist, and come up. Or use the spider slash lasso to start spinning underneath the person. Like this. And then it's your choice to either sweep them or take them back. But this should give you a small little window on what to do from reverse the riva. Again, this is very important here. Ankle grips versus frames. Most important is legs and arm positioning. If you don't have this quite drilled enough, you will get knee sliced, you will get punished half of the time. And then you can add your own sweeps and recoveries once you get used to playing the guard. And remember, these are quite tight on your hips, so kind of stretch and practice it as much as you can. So if I was to lay with the reverse de la riva and the opponent sliced, yes, would the recovery be Lucas Ledge sweep and deep off? So if they slide it across, you kind of end up, it depends, right? If they're starting with a knee slice, you can try to go for the knee twist scenario that we did, which is the deep half wouldn't be available for us unless the person kind of lets us get the knee twist and then puts their knee up, if that makes sense. To make it easier, we can just look at this one. So Steve's question here, so to make it a bit simpler for you guys, underhook, here we go. So here's the knee slice, right? So if Chris is too slow and the person gets their knee to the mat like this, we're kind of left with kind of a bad scenario here. Now it's a battle of a couple of things. One is, if I can get my knee shield in place, I might be saved and you can still play reverse de la riva. But if you can't get your knee in time, or your kind of knee to the hip, then we're left with only kind of the underhook race, which is another battle. And it looks like this. If I can get my underhook, I knee slice, boom. If I can get my underhook and the knee twist position, now it's the time that you said, Steve, you can go for your Lucas Ledge sweep. Shrimp under, sweep. And it just basically becomes all of this half guard lesson that we did. And the time we'll go for deep half would be here. Go for knee slice. They bring their knee up. That's a good time to go to deep half. Cool? But yeah, if you don't have your knee shield in place, you're kind of in trouble. And then your last little window of hope is if you can get the underhook and trap their leg at the same time. Cool? Perfect. Any other questions on reverse de la riva before I move on? That is the end of the class, by the way. I'm just gonna do a little breakdown of my rows now with Chris, just to see what we've been up to. Let's see what happens this time. Nogi round. Oh yeah, and on Friday we'll do a bit more reverse de la riva. We'll look at the counters and a lot of other things that we haven't looked at. We'll also do a no-gi version, which is based on heel hooks and leg locks from there. So it's going to be quite a month of reverse de la riva. But let's see what happens in this row. See how many mistakes we do. Nice little arm drag from Kiwi. I don't even remember, when was this? I don't remember what we were working on this week, but That was unfortunate. Tries a little back step and I just catch her with my hooks. Now reverse the Lahiva on Nogi is a lot harder. Can't do this with a stupid pillow. No. Oh, let's see what happens there. There's a nice little pressure pass scenario here. Jumps to the other side. Oh, she just gets hooked. Caught with this little hook here, unfortunately. And gets swept. No, I can't get any rest of Lahiva in her, especially Nogi. It's just so much easier to get out of it. But I think we weren't working on rest of Lahiva here. I think this is an older row. Because I filmed the reverse to Lahiva lessons last. On Saturday. 411 counter from her. So my kind of mission for this week is if I can hold her on reverse de Lahiva in a gi or no gi, because she has such little legs, so hard to keep her in place. Here she's just bullying me from side to side. Nice pass from her. And she falls off from the back, unfortunately. There, kind of get reverse to Lahiva, let's see. See, it's just so slippery, she just kicks out every time. I do try a tripod sweep there. There, that's my ankle grip. That's my tripod sweep attempt. There, she just kind of kicks her foot out. There's a knee slice. Here's what happens when you don't get your knee shield in place, Steve. I almost get past. This is an octopus guard attempt. That goes terribly wrong. Oh, Minari rows. We will look at all the leg lock entries as well, so you get to see some of those. Butterfly sweep from her. I get half of a kiss of the dragon here. First back take attempt. And same thing happens in the gi. She's very good at keeping her back on the mat. Body lock from her. Now here she could pass me quite easily, but she lets go of the body lock. So I need to show her how to do the body lock pass. That's me trying to set up my reverse de Lahiva again, but get punished. Not going well off reverse de Lahiva today. Let's see. Her passing is going really well from the gi kind of chain. It's way easier in no gi because she doesn't get stuck in the guards, but she does get tired more often. So now I can counterattack when she's tired. Half guard dangerous in no gi. It is quite dangerous in no gi. It's just a lot more slippery, and leg locks and guillotines. It's quite scary. That was her there doing one of the reverse de la riva counters. So here I set up my reverse de la riva and I do a kiss of the dragon, and you see she tries to dive underneath this leg. There, she gets perfect position here, but I kind of save myself a little bit. But that's the kind of leg drag counter. I fall up on top. She should be going octopus here. She could have still taken my back, but she doesn't know those ones yet. I try to reverse the back take. Lots of leg kicking. Get another dragging scenario. Now she's angry, so she's gonna pass. With a bit of a mission. Our rows get really heated up towards the end. No gi berimbolo attempt. She kicks my legs. Off shot here. Don't know what's going on. I think that's it for the roll. Alright, so our quest for this, we can see how terrible my reverse de la riva is. So hopefully by the next row we'll have, I'll be able to fix that. If not, you guys can tell me off. But that is it for today, guys. Hopefully we know a little bit more about reverse de la riva. I learned a bit myself as well. And I'll see you all on Friday. Take care. Have a good week. Bye bye.